Hello everyone and welcome to this week's After Effects scripting quick tip tutorial. In this one I'm going to show you how to deal with the application object inside of After Effects, which gives you access to a ton of different things including the project and application-wide commands that allow you to control After Effects. So if we look inside the Adobe After Effects scripting guide at the application object, there's a ton of different attributes we can access, such as the project we're inside of, the language it's in, what version of After Effects is being used, the project settings, a list of all the installed effects, the active viewer, and a ton of other useful things we can do. So today I'm just going to be going over a few of the most common and useful ones, and you can access all of them inside of the scripting guide for free, of course. But the main ones I'm going to be going over accessing the project and doing useful things that are very common in scripting, but there are super useful things inside of here that I'm not going to cover, such as being able to set the memory usage limits inside of After Effects, saving the preferences, and a bunch of other cool things. So the first things we'll take a look at inside the application object are the project, version, settings, and effects. These will give us sort of general access to what's installed and available inside of After Effects. So if I go ahead and alert this project here, I've created a variable called app.project, which should give us the current open project. So one thing you may want to do before you alert your project is open one up. So what we can do is use the app.open function to open up a file from our computer. So we can just say app.open, and then we need to give it an After Effects project to open up. We can reference a file, and in this case I'm going to reference something inside of my videos folder. And I'll go ahead and copy and paste a name of an AEP there, and let's just see if it opens it up. So now if we run it, you can see it's going to open up this project file that I've given it. So you can use app.project to access any open project, even if it's not saved yet. And then if you need to open one up, you can say app.open. Another cool thing is we can access the version of After Effects. So let's go ahead and say app.version, and we're going to alert this variable that I've assigned it to. And you can see we get 15.1.2 times 69. This is going to give you the format in a little bit weird of a way, but what you can do is essentially grab this string here and take everything before the X, and there's your version number. So the most useful way of using this inside of your scripts is if different versions have different compatibility and your script needs to have different functionality for the different versions. For example, some versions of After Effects have Adobe Fast Blur, some just have Fast Blur, and you may want to add an if statement or a check to check what version you're using so you can make sure you apply the proper effect. The next thing we can do is get the application settings by saying app.settings. If you look inside the scripting guide, it has a full page here on the settings object itself, and this will give you access to getting settings from After Effects as well as saving those settings, which you'll have to go into a little bit more exploration to find out about. Then one of the cool features is we can check all of the installed effects by saying app.effects. So if I go ahead and alert my installed effects, you can see I'm going to need a massive list of objects, and each one of these is representative of an effect. So what I've gone ahead and done is created a loop that I can loop through all of these installed effects, and inside of the guide I can go ahead and see that each effect has a display name, a category, and a match name. So what I'll do is say installed effects dot display name, so that will tell us the name of each effect, and then we can say dot category to see what category it's in. So if I run this, I'll get my giant list of these alerted, and then it should in my JavaScript console start generating a ton of different outputs. And if I scroll up, you can see it listed out all of the effects and the categories they're listed in. For example, auto color is in color correction, auto contrast is in color correction. And this is a good way to see if the version of After Effects you're using has the effects installed that you need, or if you needed to install an effect, you could check if it exists or not. So those are the cool kind of things we can read from After Effects with the application object. Now let's see what kind of things we can sort of do functionality-wise with it. We can say app.newProject to create a new project, and you can see just running that will go ahead and create a new project for us. If you ever want to close After Effects for any reason, you can say app.quit and just run that, and it will close the application itself. Another cool thing you can do is something that's covered quite often is begin undo groups, which will allow you to sort of set a stop point before you run a bunch of code, so you can press Ctrl Z and easily undo it all. So for example, here I have a bit of code that will create 3 folders over here that say test, And once I run it, we'll have these 3 folders, but instead of having to undo 3 times, one for each folder, I can now just press undo once in order to do that. And you can set the name of whatever your command is inside of the app.begin undo group argument, and it will appear up here as redo or undo your set of commands. And then another useful thing similar to this is called app.begin and end suppress dialogues. These begin and end suppress dialogues will allow you to suppress any messages that get popped up when opening projects. For example, having broken expressions, missing fonts, missing files. Any of these can be basically diminished and not have them pop up while you're doing certain different processes. And all you have to do is enclose the code you want to sort of cancel it out for the duration of in between the dialogues. And if you want to display the messages at the very end, you can put true after the end. And if you want all the messages to be continually suppressed, just say false. And lastly, you can use app.purge to purge different types of memory in After Effects if you're running low on cache space or memory. So all you have to do is say app.purge and pass purge target.all caches, undo caches, image caches, or your snapshot caches. So I can go ahead and clear all the caches, and once I run that, I've gone ahead and cleared all of my memory inside of After Effects. Those are just a few of the most commonly used application object attributes and methods. There's plenty more to take a look at that you can go into the guide and see, but these are the main ones that I use. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified of new videos coming out twice weekly on the channel. If you have any questions or comments about the application object or other scripting questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments down below. And of course, you can check out our GitHub for different code projects and cool things in the description, as well as Instagram, where you can follow us for live updates on when videos are coming out. Thanks again for watching, everyone, and we'll see you in the next one.